the 25th chapter of the book of Deuteronomy, verse 4, we have these words: Thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he treadeth out the corn. Muzzling the ox. In this portion of Deuteronomy, God is giving instructions as to how to deal with a number of circumstances that will arise among the people of God. He talks about controversy and how two people might well come to odds with one another, one being right and one being wrong. And if the one who is wrong is found guilty, he describes the punishment that is to be administered to the one who is in the wrong. And then suddenly he shifts and makes this singular statement among all that he's talking about. There is nothing related to this statement. Nothing before it and nothing after it is related to it. It's just a simple, seemingly an afterthought from God. He simply says, you shall not muzzle the ox as he treads out the grain. The ox was the workhorse of ancient times. He pulled the plow. He was the main source of energy for the working of the crop. They plowed the ox. Sometimes two oxen muzzled together in order that they might be able to realize a crop. Israel was not familiar with agriculture, and they had to learn how to grow crops. And in that process, learning how to grow the crop, God showed concern not only for the people or for the grain, but for the animal that was pulling the plow. He says, now when the ox is pulling the plow and he walks among the grain, the corn, the wheat, or whatever it was that they were trying to grow, he said, don't put a muzzle on the ox. See, some people don't want to see you with anything. And even the ox, some people would begrudge the ox of eating of the grain while he was pulling the plow. Muzzle him so he can't eat any of the grain. But the Lord said, don't do that. Not because of the Lord's great concern for the ox, but for the Lord's concern that we be fair-minded in our dealing with one another. We would work people and not give them a dime. That's I'll just let so-and-so do it. And all that. The Lord said, don't do that. He said, don't put a muzzle on the ox, but give the ox the consideration of at least eating some grain while he's busy working in the field. We have such situations even today where we begrudge a person anything when he's already serving, already working, already benefiting the cause. We would put a muzzle on him, that we'll do that. We muzzle the preacher. We don't care whether he has ample support and all that. We don't care anything about that. We just go on and let him work and then extract everything we can out of him and not give recognition for anything. The Apostle Paul took this matter up in the 9th chapter of 1 Corinthians. And he said, who goes into warfare at his own expense? You understand? Then he went on to talk about the ox. He said, didn't the Lord say, don't muzzle the ox while he's treading out the corn? He's teaching us liberality. He's teaching us to be concerned one for another. And then we ought to understand liberality. We ought to understand giving, because we serve a God who so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. We serve a giving God. Serve a God that gave us life. God that gives us health and strength every day. In the morning, when we wake up, we don't wake ourselves up. Somebody wakes us up in the morning. Somebody starts us on our way. Somebody takes care of us all day long. Yeah, Lord. Yeah, Lord. He is a giving God. He is a caring God. He is a concerned God. Yes. Yeah. Doors of the church is open.